Louder.
Louder. We want more applause. Good afternoon and welcome. You have joined Distill It, a 360-degree view of life and sports. You know, folks, it is hot in here already. It's going to get hotter, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of laughter.
I'm still layered. It's officially dropped below 70 in LA.
It's 360 degrees.
So it's time to layer.
We are here every other Tuesday at the beautiful UBN Go Studios in Burbank with our favorite engineer, Shai. Welcome, Shai.
Hey, how's it going?
For those of... It's going awesome. It's hot already.
It's already hot, yeah.
It's getting hot in here.
Everyone wore
If we take off our clothes, for those of you who only listen to us on your podcast platform, you're going to really miss out, because if it does get too hot, I'm sure clothes are going to be coming off.
We're undressing.
We are here every other Thursday to talk about the thing that my co-host, Ava Schwitzer, welcome to you.
Thank you.
I love the most, and that is sports. Yeah. But we like to look at sports from a different perspective. We like to look at it not just to see what's going on the field, although today we are going to talk about a couple of items that have to do with what is going on the field of sports, but to see what's going on, all the stories that are in and around sports, the things you don't really often get to hear about. Also, we love to talk to home athletes, and our guest today is actually a very inspiring home athlete who's doing lots of amazing things. She's here today as our guest because when we freestyle, we've decided that we want to have our super fans come in and join us to talk about anything that's on their mind. So today we have asked our friend and super fan Gia Gallo to join us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
We're very excited to have you here again. You've been on our show once before, a long time ago, one of the early days shows, right? Mm-hmm. So Eira and I are the proud owners of the Distillery Inc. It's a company that works with athletes to help them repurpose their athletic intelligence to a life better than they even had in sports. And that's why we're here talking about sports. That's why we think we can talk about sports because, hey, we're know-it-alls anyway.
We are. We talk about whatever we want to when we want to.
I'm in good company.
Try and tell us not to.
So today, as we said, it's Freestyle Day, and on Freestyle Day, we love audience participation as well as the participation of both our guest and our engineer. So if you are interested in talking to us or making funny or not so funny comments or profound or deep comments, you can do so in two ways. One is on our Facebook page right now. We look at the comments along the show and we try and answer any questions or add any value to what you're saying.
Getting that cute pink glow. I know you're getting so hot.
It's so hot. Anyway, I'm gonna bear down.
Or they can call in.
And our number is 323-524-2599, and we'd happily take your call. Normally what we do on our shows is we spend the first few minutes talking about what's going on in sports in the last couple of weeks. But since that's really what we are going to do today, I had an idea last night that I would put out to my Facebook community, a question, to see what answers would come up. And I got a lot of answers and basically some really funny ones.
What was the question?
The question was, inquiring minds want to know what's your favorite sport and why?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Gia, why don't you
How
ask?
do you choose?
Yeah.
Baseball and football.
Why? What, and which one is the more, what's the first?
Probably football. But in general, I think it's hard to choose because why do people enjoy sports? I think it's the deeper level of depth that's there, right? You see people who are...
Gia, answer the question.
No, I'm serious. Like, to me, that's why I love sports, and that's why it's hard to choose, because athletes all have the same thing in common, which is the tenacity, the focus, the discipline, the hard work, the effort, things like that. I don't know, baseball or football, I can't choose.
Okay.
Oh, the only sport that really matters, the
Soccer.
best sport in the world, proper football. Thank you very much, soccer.
Yes.
What's your favorite sport?
Hockey.
And why?
I love hockey. It was the first sport I was inducted in as a kid. I grew up in a cul-de-sac, so you either play football.
A chance to beat somebody up.
Yeah, so
right?
Because that's what hockey is.
In a cul-de-sac, you either play basketball or hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'5", so
hockey was.
I want you to know, I had two friends that commented that hockey's their favorite, and the first one was a very nice answer. I will tell you what it is. It's fast-paced the whole time, entire team involved, and not a million timeouts or game stoppages for the whole game.
Yeah.
So then I got the second hockey question, which totally made me laugh. It was hockey because I'm Canadian. So I was like,
That's
it. Is there a law in Canada that like you're born and you must actually like hockey? Otherwise, like, you
it's
get
in
thrown
the
out of
birth
the country.
certificate.
Yeah,
You get
exactly.
thrown out of the country.
Yeah,
It's like,
I like that.
I thought
That's
that was
it.
very funny. I had a couple of very odd answers that I would have never, ever,
Cricket.
ever expected.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites, figure skating. I love the dresses and the insane athleticism involved.
Absolutely.
But dresses first, folks. Forget the athleticism.
Right, exactly.
It's the
You
dresses.
look
They're
good
just
while you're
pretty.
doing it.
Yeah, it's my favorite sport. Because I thought I was just going to get football, baseball, maybe
Right.
basketball.
Yeah.
No basketball at all, interestingly,
Really?
but maybe that's just my friends.
Who are your viewers?
Who are
Yeah,
my
exactly.
friends?
That's interesting.
Kayaking,
Yeah.
thrill of what the ocean offers. I was like,
Yeah.
kayaking.
Yeah.
I love kayaking.
Yeah, it's a fun sport.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
I
You
love
know,
kayak.
I thought that was, I got shopping,
Kayaking,
which
rowing,
was,
I think really fun.
Shopping.
Upper body workouts.
shopping, which I thought was hysterical because I know the person and
Yeah.
she's a shopaholic, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
I would lose that sport.
Yeah, I hate shopping.
Definitely baseball and football. The equal. Tennis, got a couple tennis. I know there's somebody who's visiting us in the studio who won't speak up, but I know he loves tennis.
Djokovic and Federer are playing right now.
Are they?
Yeah, in the ATP finals.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then my son said football first and football second. So
He means soccer football.
Yeah, that's
that
what
was
he means.
the
No.
Exactly. That's what he means. Exactly.
No, he doesn't at all.
Let's go with that. He was born in England. You know, he's gotta have it deep
Right.
inside there somewhere. It'll surface.
Yeah.
he has
It'll
American
surface.
parents. What do you want? And he has a mom who's like, that's my number one answer. And of course, my dad went on and said football.
We'll infiltrate him.
Yeah, we
Eira
will. We'll
will.
take. Yeah, exactly.
We've
Spend some
tried.
time-
We've
spend time
tried,
with
and
me.
then his mom coached him in soccer, and that was that. He didn't want to do that
So
again.
see her
You
fault.
traumatized
You know, it's like
him.
come
You
on.
didn't even give him a
you
chance.
know?
I did. But it was really interesting, and the nice part about it is that I really thought people were going to take it like,
Yeah.
what sport based on what they like to watch more than anything else.
Oh.
But
Sure.
to get all the variety of answers was very exciting for me because
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, nice.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good question. Fun.
That's a good question.
Fun.
So if anybody wants to comment and put in the comments what sports you like, please do so. We always would love to hear, and we can talk about it some more.
Yep.
But ladies, we are here to talk about the world of sports and what's going in the world of sports. And Gia, I know you have a lot of stuff to talk
It's
about.
been a rough last few days.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched Gia. Our kids play soccer, and our daughters were actually playing together on Sunday. I was watching her sitting there with her
Oh,
phone.
they
And
are
kids
very
are playing,
competitive.
and she's got the phone with the games going on simultaneously, and it's just
Oh, right,
there was so much happening
right.
this weekend. It was just making
No,
people
I was
crazy.
watching her play soccer, Eira.
Of course
I
you
was
were.
not
Of
on the
course you
red
were.
zone on
I
my
saw
phone
her.
the whole
No,
time.
never. You would never. My son was not sitting next to you,
Gianna,
joining
I
you.
swear I was watching you the whole time.
Exactly.
You're getting notes from Eira about actually what's happening on the field, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that you can convince your daughter you were watching
Yeah.
and not watching football. Gia, why don't you start us off since you are the super fan? Oh, tell us before you do, because we want to let you give a little plug for your business.
I just have to say, her daughter actually got injured during the game.
Yes.
Right. So
She sacrificed herself.
Right.
for-
And here's mom. Mom's watching the football
no.
games, and her daughter's been injured, and everyone's, all the kids now have taken a knee, and everyone's rushing to the kid, and she looks up.
But the Saints.
Doesn't bother to stand up. She just sort of looks up. Everyone's like, Gia, Gianna's crying. Oh, she's fine. She looks good. I can tell.
Because I
Did
feel
not
her
step
energy.
away.
So
Did not
maybe
step
the
away
top-
from the
I
game.
know.
Maybe the topic of the
It's
show.
the maternal instinct in me. She's fine.
Well, there was so much happening.
But are
with
the
the
Saints
games.
going to get this third down?
Listen,
This
priorities.
first down.
We have had shows where we have talked about like
Yeah.
parenting in sports.
Yeah.
So maybe
Oh,
you need to come
my.
back and talk about how sports takes a priority over your
Let
child.
me inspire you,
Okay.
parents.
All right, let's talk about real sports now.
Yes.
No, that is real sports.
That
Sorry,
is,
your
it
kids
is.
are good.
Can
your
we
kids are
talk
great.
about, please,
Yes.
the Astros?
We can.
Please, that's really hot on my mind since yesterday.
So before we go there, let me set the stage for what has happened.
Yeah.
Which the fascinating part of what happened is the whistleblower in this case openly
Is their own
is
player.
their
Yeah.
own player. So a player from the team who played in the game that they're being accused of cheating in came out and actually said, you know what?
Not just that game.
Not that, but yes. But it was centered around the 2017 World Series that they ultimately won, right? So he is a pitcher, and he knows that one of the ways that the Astros would help the batters know what pitches were coming was through a very interesting way, through a camera that would catch the signals a pitcher makes so they can relay to the pitcher what they want the pitch to be.
If it is, all Major League Baseball players, they want the fastball. That's what they're all like praying for, because all of them can hit a fastball way out of there. But nobody wants the off-speed pitches. So and that's the entire fun of the game, is trying to figure out, the kind of pitch you're getting. That's part of the game. So when you take that away, to me, that's infuriating.
Wait. Let me just finish for people who may not know or have read. The way that the team was communicating to the batter what the pitch was going to be was through loud noises, sometimes banging pots in the dugout.
Whistling. They would bang a trash can or something, like a metal trash can, to determine if it was an off-speed pitch.
Right.
That's when they would.
Right.
Well,
no. They figured out so what they were trying to do was figure out the signals. Once whoever was watching it figured out what the signal was. So I don't know that it was just an off-speed.
The batters always knew if you hear a bang, it's either, I forgot whether it was a fastball or off speed. It was one.
I think it was the off speed.
So they knew, hold back. If they're not good at off speed pitches, they're not going to hit it.
Yeah.
Because they have, the hint. But if they knew it was a fast, do you understand? Like that.
It's hard.
I'm sorry.
Okay, play. I jumped on your rant. You get another minute to have the rant. No, go for it.
Let me put my timer on.
So, but I've had this conversation with people in terms of all sports, but specifically because of this now. Is that meant to be part of the game or not? I mean, there are purists, of course, and there are the athletes who say, look, I need to win by my own merit. I need to do this the way it's meant to be done. Here are the rules. I want to know that I'm doing it, through my own merit. But knowing that there is always someone looking for the edge, looking for that advantage. Is this part of the game that people have to expect? Yes or no?
Well, why? This is part of baseball, right? They're always trying to. It's accepted. It's the accepted part of baseball. They're always trying to find. They're always trying to find out what the pitches are, but they do it in a way this is illegal, what happened, meaning this has never, ever been done as far as anyone knows in baseball. This is like unprecedented.
It's never been discovered.
No, it's never been discovered.
This is the only team they know of right now who literally used artificial intelligence, a video camera, in order to clearly, during a game, tell the batters what the actual pitches are. That's huge.
But
that gives them such an advantage. It's not even.
It gives them a huge advantage, but do you honestly believe no other team in Major League Baseball is doing this?
Not like this.
With all the technology that's happening with everything.
And that goes back to the question we've had, obviously, forever, which is as technology advances, as it progresses, as it's used more and relied upon more, so throughout sports, we tend to see these kinds of things. You can get very smart. You can get very crafty. So here's someone saying, look, technology's there. Right. Let's just use it to our advantage.
But this is putting the entire integrity of the game. This is threatening the entire integrity of the game of baseball. This is a huge, huge deal. This is never, ever... this was calculated. This was, planned. Yeah. This is like another level entirely. This is worse to me, I think to most people, this is worse than players taking steroids. Because
really?
Why?
I'll tell you, because if you're a pitcher and you have a batter coming up who takes steroids, you can outpitch them. It's not an even playing field at all. But I'm saying it's worse because you can at least outpitch them if you're 100% on your pitches. But if you're if you know what pitch is coming, that is not something as a pitcher that you can navigate.
Is this equal to Pete Rose betting on his own team?
To me, this is the absolute worst thing that's ever happened in baseball.
Wow.
Like I said,
worse than the Black Sox days back in the 1920s when they threw the
I don't go back that far.
Like I'm living right here, right now.
Right now, I only follow the Dodgers. the only reason I know what the Astros are is because they played the Dodgers.
And now you will forever remember them because they are cheaters. They're the worst kind of cheaters.
No, listen, the reason I ask is that was the scandal that rocked the sport that had a ripple effect for many years to come.
Can we explain what that scandal is?
The team threw the World Series.
How?
Because I think it was because they stood there and watched great pitches go by and didn't try and hit the ball. Like they dropped.
It's like the Miami
drop
Dolphins.
balls.
Right.
You know
what we spoke about.
Right.
Miami
Yeah, no,
Dolphins.
literally, the Dolphins.
We're just not
the
gonna-
Dolphins
we're
were
not gonna win.
purposely not wanting to win because
Right,
they
because they
wanted
want the
the
first
first
pick.
pick.
Exactly.
And so once they were 100% getting it, they started to win games.
Yeah.
They won the last 2 games.
But this was more about throwing the games for people who wanted to win money on it. So it was like there was pressure
so
and
that's
stuff like
another
that.
aspect, by the way, is imagine if you're, not that I support these people, but if you're a bettor, imagine you're betting on the World Series. You know, think about it.
Okay,
like this has effects all
Right.
across. Like people are betting money.
But you don't think that this has been happening?
No, it definitely, meaning they're always trying to find out what the opposite team's pitching signals are, right? But not at this level. This is actually using, again, a camera
But yeah,
and
I would-
relaying in real time.
I think this is the team that got caught.
Yeah.
This is what I believe.
Well,
This is just the first team that got caught because
so
I
then
guarantee
I think then that baseball as a respectable sport is threatened entirely. I don't think
that I
people
would
are
agree.
going to take it seriously. I think it takes the joy out of the entire point of the sport. And then it says a lot.
like VAR in soccer.
Oh, not that.
What
bad.
language are you speaking?
So on
It
today's show,
ruins
we're
the
only going to
sport.
talk about
It
baseball
ruins
football.
flow.
I'm curious. What is
Instant
this?
replay. For those of you who don't know.
Oh, right, Eira.
See?
Yes.
Flow.
I've seen you get very, very emotional.
Well, no, but that's illegal.
No, I know.
Yeah, obviously.
But I'm just talking.
I know
I'm
for
talking
you,
about her ruining the
your passion is equal
integrity
to that. Yes.
of the sport.
Well, no, listen, I want to talk about 2 things that you've brought, that this whole controversy has brought
Yeah.
up. One is, actually 3 things. One, the way it's being handled. I don't know if you've been reading about,
Well, why isn't it all over? I have to Google it to find articles and stuff. Meaning,
because right.
I have to do my detective
I
work.
actually didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew what something transpired, but I didn't.
But
get
you told us
They're
before the
not
show started
making-
that you've been busy, so you haven't really been paying
but they're
attention.
not making it as big of a deal as it is
Right.
because
There's
they know
impeachment
what
going
a
on
big
right
deal
now,
it is.
and all
Right.
this other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
There's lots of other stuff happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Colin
listen,
Kaepernick took a knee, and then we were like,
No,
that's,
no.
that's
Colin
everywhere.
Kaepernick this
I
Saturday
know,
or Sunday.
that's a
We're
whole
gonna
other
get
thing.
there.
We're
No,
going to
but
get to
she
that too.
brought it
Are you
up.
excited about that?
no, but we got listen. We got to
we'll
finish
hesitate.
with this, and we can move on because
Yeah.
I do think there's 2 really
Colin, you must wait for a moment.
there's 3
He's
important
old.
You've been waiting a long
long
time.
time. He can wait another couple of minutes.
You can do it.
No, but there's three things. One is how it's being handled, and basically the way it's being handled is that the Major League Baseball is allowing the general manager of the Astros to do the investigation, which kind of is laughable.
Right.
See, this
Yeah.
is
I read
why
one
it's
article.
not all over the place because
Right.
they're trying to keep it on the down
Yeah.
low.
Right, because they know it's bad. They know it's bad for baseball.
The worst thing that
The
happened to
funniest thing is
baseball.
I read an article where the writer said, like, okay, here's how the general manager actually like takes care of it. He calls up the guy head of operations and goes, "Did you do it?"
Yeah.
And if the person can't answer, he goes, "Call the guy that you had do it
Right.
and ask him why did he do it?"
Yeah.
And that's it. Like it's a 2-minute investigation.
course.
So there is a bigger thing, and I think that it is also tied in a loose way, but definitely a direct way of what happened with the whole basketball incident with China and all
Sure.
of that, where like how much the leagues as a whole have to preserve their not their
Yes.
integrity, their money, and how they handle these big crises. Because it's not just because I think they know that there are going to be other teams that they're going to discover more now. Everybody's going to be on
the one
looking
team
out.
that's had whispers forever is the Astros.
Yeah, for sure.
I
How can you be this good 3 years in a row?
Not just that, but there's been players from other teams who've said, "Listen, we've heard whistles.
Right.
We've heard, So I'm sure that they must have been investigated or approached before,
Right?
And they just continued, and it obviously got much worse.
So that's the first thing. The second thing I think is really interesting is that it came from within, that it was a player, and I don't know why other athletes are not standing up and going, hey, good on you. Like, here's a guy who's making really good money. He played on the team that won the World Series that year. Mm-hmm. So if anything if there were any consequence, like stripping the World Series from them or whatever,
he would be affected as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
That's not good enough anyway. Who cares?
You want more.
Yeah.
I know you
well,
want.
not only that.
Well, they
what
already
does that
fined
do?
them.
So what?
They're talking about a fine, which is
$2
nothing.
million.
It's
Yeah.
nothing.
That's the highest you can go. They have endless amounts of money, right?
Yeah.
No, they need to lose their draft picks. They need to lose their free agency, like all of that. I'm sorry, for a decade.
Yeah, but
I think an issue is that the NFL set a precedent with the Patriots and all their cheating.
Yeah,
right.
So now anyone could cheat in any
Well,
major.
listen, let's be honest. You're young. How old are you? 25?
26.
26. All right. Let me tell you something.
did you just call us old?
No, I said he's young. Well, he's younger than us by a bit.
You're younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
And therefore not
My
as wise.
point is,
As such,
this is
as
my
a
point.
26-year-old.
As a 26-year-old, it was long before the Patriots and Tom Brady and a half deflated ball that happened that there was cheating in sports.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
let's be honest. It didn't start there, and I don't know that they set a precedent. I think. But it's a good point that you raised, because I think the fact of the matter is that people always look for ways to gain advantage.
Absolutely.
And we call it cheating. They look at it as ways to gain advantage. And right now in the world, we have technology where putting a little camera
But it's
right here.
illegal.
I know it's illegal, Gia. It doesn't
So
matter.
what I'm saying, it does matter. It matters hugely. We're
cheating
talking
is
about
illegal.
in real time during a game.
I know.
But so what's not illegal is, let's say someone's running the bases and he picks up on the pitcher's pitching, right? He can pick up on the signals or whatever.
Right.
And then he relays it to the manager of the team. That's okay. That's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not,
but it's cheating.
It is, but it's not what we're
It's the
saying
good-
is
it's good cheating.
entirely different. Cheating is never okay. First of all, you have some Astros. You have some of the best players. You have the most amazing roster.
Well,
why do you
feel the need?
Right. And then again, we're in a time where everything comes up. Nothing is going to be hidden.
Yeah.
So eventually this would have come out. They thought that this player who moved on to other teams, like one day these players aren't going to speak up, and it makes people question not just that game, not just that World Series, but everything about your team. It makes, I'm sorry, it puts the entire league into question.
It totally does. I agree with you 100%. I just
makes you think that everyone's doing it.
Listen, I don't think everyone's doing it, but I think it'd be naive for us to believe that there aren't a lot of illegal cheating things going on.
So why should we watch baseball anymore?
Or any sport,
Yeah,
but that's the
exactly.
thing. It's happening. There are things happening across all sports. So is that part of the game or not?
Well, I think it's part of human nature that and who plays the game.
Yeah.
People. I mean, how often do we talk about on this show that, life is an intersection or a reflection
Sure.
of, or sports is a reflection of life. So, I mean, people cheat.
Yeah.
People want to gain advantage unfairly.
So I guess
and it
this
happens.
is a great point, that you will never get away with it. One day it will come back and it will ruin your entire reputation.
But
Was it worth
is it going to? Is it going
Your
to
entire
change
reputation.
Things? Is it going to change things? Because people get caught all the time, and it's not a deterrent.
Well, to me,
It's-
that's the big question that I was going to say at the end of all of this is like, what is this going to change? What is it? How is it going to impact baseball moving forward? And I don't know that we have the answer. And sadly, the answer may be because there's a bigger engine, which is called Major League Baseball, that has a lot to protect.
Yeah.
It may not. And unfortunately, except for you, Gia, and some other baseball fans, the media cycle is going to be quick. It's going to run through,
Right.
and then 2 months from now, people will be
I don't
like
think
you
so.
going.
I think this
As
is
a-
bigger than you guys
as
think.
a Dodgers
I don't
fan,
know.
if they were the
It's
Dodgers, if they were
huge.
exposed, You know, would
How
that
dare
change?
you,
Would that change
Eira?
anything
How
for you?
dare
Would
you
you
speak
stop?
such blasphemy?
Would you stop watching the games? Would you stop supporting the team because
Eira,
now you
Let me
know?
explain something. This was not the Dodgers, and that's
And
why
it
they're
never
my
will be.
team.
And that's why they lost to the Nationals. No, I'm just joking. I bleed Dodger blue, so I'm just.
You know, I'm very glad that the Nationals won, though. Can you imagine if the Astros won the World Series? This would be, I'm telling you, it's a big deal. And I think it puts the entire sport at risk. People won't take it seriously anymore. You'll lose fans. I think it just,
listen, I
it's
wanna
a
have-
threat to the integrity of the sport.
So I think this is
Any
one of those
sport.
stories, because of your passion, I do want to follow through, and let's see 6 months from now if there is a
Right.
ripple effect like you're talking about. Because you're not, I mean, are you really going to stop watching baseball because of this?
Like I said, I think you don't take it as serious. My heart is invested in literally everything I do, but when I watch sports, I'm invested in it in my heart. And so when I feel like I don't know, it means I'm just going to step back a little bit, that I won't, you know, or I don't know. It's just sad. I feel it's very disappointing and it's sad, and as a fan, I don't know.
I agree 1,000% with what you're saying. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
It's sad that any athlete feels they have to cheat to gain an advantage, or any athletic organization feels like they have to. I think
you
it
feel
shortchanges.
resigned to it, like meaning this is just how it is.
No, it's not that I feel resigned to it. I feel like it happens, and I feel like the outcome of when it's discovered has the ability to change the course for the better, the sport that it's impacting. So, you know, rules get made. You know, the more things are uncovered so that people have an opportunity to change. Does it mean that I'm not going to be a fan of baseball or watch it? I probably wouldn't go that far, because I believe that these things do cause transformation to happen. I don't like it. I think it's horrible, and I don't understand why people do it, because, you know, you're right.
Well, I think it's so unnecessary. Also, you have some of the best players. What are you doing? Don't you believe in them? Like, let them, you know.
But it's the same thing. Don't you? Why do you have to pay for your kid to get into a school?
Yeah.
Don't you believe in your kid? You
Right,
know? And
all
if you
of
don't
this.
believe in your kid, wouldn't you try and help them in different ways instead of making them feel worse because, you know, you have to pay and cheat to get them into school? I mean, people do stupid, dumbass things.
And again, you get caught, and very few of them have even taken responsibility for it.
yeah, well,
You know, so
they're starting to go to jail now.
right,
So
right.
I wanted
So
to
that's
move
what
on.
should happen to the Astros.
They should go to jail.
10 years jail time.
poor Altuve. He's so cute. I don't want to see him in jail. Come on.
Excuse me.
By the way, he's one of the players that actually
He's just offended her.
He's one of the
again.
players that actually hits off-speed pitches
Off-speed
really well.
pitches.
So he
Nice.
doesn't need it.
Exactly. None of them need it. They're in the major leagues. Come on, you got that far. Why do you have to?
Why do you have to cheat?
But that's life.
Yeah. Well,
You see it
and
everywhere.
so let's hope that it has. But that's why I want to come back to this 6 months from now and see what the implications, what the ramifications are, and what happens.
Yeah.
Like, what does
Yeah.
MLB do to say, hey,
Well,
this is not
hopefully
good?
it takes them 3, 4, 5, 6 months to investigate this. I hope they put the time.
Apparently,
No, I
it's
think
gonna
no,
be one
trust
phone
me.
call.
I
Told you,
think the
one phone call.
more.
The investigation's over, Gina.
Yeah.
No, I have a feeling.
The season starts in 3 months.
Yeah, they
I
did it.
really, really believe that there's going to this we're in the seat of it. It's going to snowball.
All right.
I have a feeling.
All right, let's watch,
And
and then
I
we'll
think
have you
there
back
will
in.
be an investigation. That's going to be a while because I think people will demand it, especially
Yeah.
other teams.
Have you started writing letters yet?
Especially the Yankees fans, by the way. Apparently, that's a big deal. Yankees fans are, they're from New York. They're loud. They're going to make sure that
Right.
this doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees would have been in the World Series against the Dodgers, 100%. Because the reason, if you saw, I've done a lot of research on this. If you saw,
She came in prepared.
if you saw the difference, the way the Astros played at home versus when they were away, it's massive. It's
Yeah.
a
Night and day.
huge, huge difference. So I believe, as well as all the Yankees fans, and I don't really like the Yankees, but today I'm going to unify with them.
Exactly.
Sports is a unifying.
Do not let this die. Speak up. Fight.
Are
And
you
the
betting
end
that,
result
or-
is the Dodgers would have beat the Yankees in the World Series, and they would have won.
Right.
So it really always comes back to the Dodgers. And if you're from LA, you know how we feel.
Exactly. So
All right,
six months
moving
from now,
on.
you're back, and we'll see where things stand.
Exactly.
All right,
Okay.
moving on. We brought up Colin Kaepernick.
And you got excited. Why?
Yay.
Why?
Yay! Because he waited 3 years to finally he's able to do like a practice in front of all of the owners of all the teams, and hopefully will be picked up by a team to start being a quarterback again.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Holy cow! If that actually happens, which would be amazing, can you imagine?
But you know what he had to do to go through to get to this point, right? Meaning he had to sue the NFL.
And then Jay-Z came. I think that's really what happened. Jay-Z has a huge influence.
Jay-Z did a commercial for the NFL, and now everything's okay.
But for those who think it's not really genuine and it's a PR stunt and that it sort of seems like it came out of nowhere and it's on a Saturday when those things don't happen on Saturdays because, you know, they're out scouting college football players and everyone's getting ready for Sunday football games. And so why?
And oh, by the way, why does it have to happen that way? If a team's interested in them, why don't they just bring them into their training camp and do something with them?
I think there's a big shakeup in the quarterbacks on all the teams. And I think they're like, we need help desperately. So? We got to bring in Colin.
Really?
Yeah, there's some
By the way, his numbers weren't spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you realize that.
And let's just say that Alex Smith took that team to the Super Bowl and he took it the next couple games, but Alex Smith rocked that season.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like Colin Kaepernick. I have nothing against him, but it's
but
not like he's
exactly,
like a superstar. He was
He's
really
a lot
good.
better than a lot of the other quarterbacks, I think.
Well, now, interesting,
come
but you bring
on.
up a really good point. I'm really fascinated by the whole kind of quarterback shuffle that's going on in the NFL right now, and I can I just say that I say this all the time. We have many hours of recordings that prove this.
Yeah.
When teams try and build an organization around a quarterback, they are going to fail.
Yeah.
And this is what is actually coming to fruition right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe
Because your quarterback going to get sacked if they don't have good linemen.
Exactly.
If they don't have good protection.
But I mean, like Tom Brady literally is the only, but he's not. If you look at how Bill Belichick has built the Patriots, and you know, because Gia and I are in a football pool together, I am not a Patriots fan. I am not a Patriots fan. But you got to be a fan.
It's her
of
morning
how,
meditation.
Yeah, exactly. Not a Patriots
I
fan.
want them to lose every time, but you got to be, you got to give credit to Bill Belichick and his whole staff and the whole
It's one of the
organization
best coaches
ever.
ever.
But how he's built a team because if Tom Brady is taken out for whatever reason, or when he inevitably retires, which might be when he's 50,
the team will still be going
the team is
strong.
going to still be a really good team because he built a team to be a team that
Look at the
is
players
strong.
that we thought you couldn't live without that aren't there right now.
Yeah.
Gronk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And look how amazing they are. They've only
Sure.
lost one game.
Exactly.
Having said that, that the game they lost was against a good team. The entire first,
yes.
8 games were, so-so teams.
Right.
So we'll see what they're really made of right now. But
No, but the point is that I think what you're seeing and why a lot of the teams are failing, under quarterbacks that were supposed to be superstars is because they decided that was what they wanted to focus on. So
invest
you're looking
everything into.
you're looking at the Jets who are sucking, and look, we're Sam Darnold fans, Trojan fans, and I was really hoping I've also always said that I think he should have waited to come out and spend another year in college just to kind of hone his skills. But every time I've watched him, I'm like, oh my God, like you suck. Yeah. No, I mean, I mean that
with all due
meanly,
respect.
Yeah.
No, but
It's
he's
a completely different stage. It's a completely different
different.
world. I think they're so ill prepared.
Because
and
it's
the
the
Jets-
NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, that's another level.
Well, but the Jets,
that's not college.
They bring him in and they think, okay, so this guy's going to, fix all of our problems. They get Le'Veon Bell, who is one of my still all-time favorite running backs of all time.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to do anything because the rest of the team is not there.
Sure.
But I think also it takes time to build a quality team.
But
It,
But see, the problem is that, yes, it does take time to build a quality team. But what happens is when you recruit these superstar quarterbacks, Well, the same thing's happening in Cleveland. Now, Baker Mayfield has had a little bit of better luck than Sam Darnold, but the same thing's happening. Everybody was expecting he was going to come in.
Yeah.
Everything was going to elevate, and they were going to have an awesome season. And they're not. They're struggling because all of those other pieces weren't in place, and because people don't, like, there's not a communication that says, hey, guys, we got a really good young quarterback that gives us a future.
Sure.
He doesn't give us now. And so now everybody's going, we're unsteady. But it's not just the new quarterbacks. Some of the older quarterbacks, Trubisky's done nothing on the Bears.
Yeah. I think it's been a really interesting season in general, though.
Totally.
Speaking about our football pool,
She's winning.
I'm winning. But last week I won 4 out of, 13 games.
I couldn't believe it.
And I was very excited to find out that I actually was tied with her husband. No one else won more than us.
Yeah.
Because I was scared. I was like, 4. I only won 4. This is horrible.
Yeah. No, every week has been.
But that's what's so exciting about football is that you think, this team against me 100% is this one. It's going to be a boring game. And then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I want to ask one more thing about football right now. We have somebody, Craig Judah is saying, you said it, team, you need to buy in, and Sam Darnold is amazing. If you don't have the frontline protection and their confidence, it's hard to make strides. We know, Craig, that he is amazing.
Yeah.
We are big fans.
Yeah.
They're putting so much pressure on him to be the reason the Jets are better that it's having a backlash. So thank you for
Wendy's
your comment,
morning
Craig.
meditation is, I don't like the Patriots.
Yep.
Her afternoon is, I don't like the Jets.
No, I want the Jets to
don't
be
like the Jets.
successful.
I don't like
No, I
the
do like the Jets because Sam's there.
Who's your favorite team?
The Rams.
Oh, right.
And then
Yeah,
after that,
oh yeah, you're one of those.
and then after that, the Steelers. You know that I'm a
the
Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But
I've had a crush on their coach since I was like 16. I swear.
okay, you just took me. I had something to say, and now I'm like,
Say it, Wendy. Don't hold back.
I was gonna talk about this crazy football season and how it's very interesting. It's for me. It's like it's a new era of football. I really do believe it, and I do think that some of the things they've had to institute into football, like the rules about actually hurting people really badly.
Right.
Some of the rule changes have had a really big ripple effect that I don't think the teams have fully grasped yet.
Right.
I think what's really interesting about this football season is the fact that coaches I'm a big Sean McVay fan.
He's an amazing coach.
He's an amazing coach, but he's really
him.
but he's really struggling, right? And it's really interesting to watch the evolution of a coach. When he came in, it was like for the first 2 years, people couldn't figure him out, and now it's like they're starting to figure him out. So watching the evolution of the new coaches, because we have a lot of first-time coaches.
But also, I was about to say, that's what's so interesting is, these owners, they're like, Sean McVay, he's the most successful, the youngest coach, so inspiring. We should hire.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
So now all the new coaches are like 20.
All our coaches should be under 30.
Exactly.
All of our coaches should have, very little experience.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because that's exactly what happens. Is that it's like, it used honestly, and maybe it's because I'm older, I just remember that, it wasn't like in the NFL draft that the first 10 picks were quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It was a lot more even.
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting how it's like, we got to get that quarterback. Right. It's like Kyler Murray's not having a great year in Arizona. Like, he's spectacular.
Like, who's that? Arizona.
The Heisman Trophy winner. And guess what? College. And you've got 2 big quarterbacks coming out of college this year, or more than that, actually. But you've got Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama and Jalen Hurts out of Oklahoma. And the same thing's going to happen. Like, everybody's going to be scrambling, and Miami is going to not play well so that they can have their pick.
Let them not play well. I don't
which
care.
is fine. But so they can have their pick, and then they're going to get one of those 2 guys, and they're going to say it's going to
the Browns,
what to do with it.
The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They got one of the best quarterbacks, and it's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But it takes time to build a team. It takes time to get the team to gel.
It takes time to build a team when you're building beyond just the quarterback position.
That's my point.
But I think that's what I'm saying is they invest one year. They invest in the quarterback, and then over the next consecutive years, that's when they start to build the out around that. So that's what I'm saying. It takes time. It takes years because all of their resources. Yeah.
So then,
They
in my
devise a
opinion,
master plan
as a
and then-
businesswoman, what I would do is pay the new quarterback a lot less money, and I would make it performance based. Once we start to he can make a lot of money as it goes on, but they're paying him
Right.
Yeah.
millions of dollars, right? Millions.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
And then
they
they're not- and
invest in one part of the plan,
and then they're not investing
it
in the
takes
rest.
a long time to to build that bank account up.
Listen, if we
build around
if we should be the general managers of a football team, we would do
We should
really
be
well.
the owners.
We
Why
say,
stop
we
there?
say this all the time. There is nothing that we
People
should
would
be
listen
running.
to this. Yeah.
First of all,
people
we should
didn't
be
listen
the
to
refs.
us.
We should be the umpires.
We should run it
We
all.
got it all covered.
We have 9 minutes left.
Look at
What
how they
else?
function without us.
I am curious though, just because you were so adamant about how this.
By the way,
whole-
did everybody notice that Eira has taken off clothes? We said it at the beginning of the show.
I'm like,
I'm going to lose this game, by the way, because I came in with the least amount of clothes.
and I've got
So if I
nothing
have to
under
take
this, and
anything off,
nobody
we're in
wants to see
trouble.
me. So I'm going to sweat it out
it
over
is
here.
hot in here. But you were talking earlier about how.
She's challenging me right now.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Taking
okay,
off
I
her
dare
shirt. What
you,
am I going
and-
to do?
and
These
I
earrings are coming off. I don't even have a hair tie on to take that off. At least we're all glowing and radiant.
Yes.
You said the whole scandal affected your perspective on baseball, but did you feel that way?
It could. It has the potential
It
to.
could. Well, did
Yeah.
it with like
I always
Deflategate?
thought the Astros were dirty, rotten scoundrels.
But did you feel as passionate with Deflategate? Did it affect how you saw football?
back-
Especially
So
since
my
you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
My family is major Patriots fans. Packers and Patriots.
Does it change when it's your team doing the cheating?
Well, see, I'm always rooting for the underdog. So I like.
So how do you like the
Patriots? But
They're
I
not
like
that, they're never the underdog.
Yeah.
Right.
They-
So that's the point. Is for the sake of my family, I love the Patriots. Now, yeah, I feel like that was a huge deal, obviously, because we're still talking about it, and I think forever. I think
Yeah.
anytime a sport is misrepresented, anytime its integrity, it takes away from the entire heart of it. I feel
but
like
did it change you? I mean, you haven't stopped watching.
again, I think it puts it adds an element of doubt,
Yeah.
less enthusiasm for sure.
Oh, there is no less enthusiasm. I see your emails every week.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I watch the games with you.
I don't have a team.
I know.
I mean, I have teams I hate with a passion.
Yeah.
like the Seahawks.
I hate them too.
Because,
But
I
that
don't like
that game was
Hate them.
That
I
game
don't
was
like their
big.
owner.
That was a great
That
game.
game was
Coach.
awesome.
That game was
That
right?
awesome.
amazing game.
Those
It
are
was
the kind
amazing.
those are the kinds of games you want to
yeah,
see.
that's
Yeah.
what you want.
That was
That's like
amazing.
Even if you
last
don't like the
year's-
team, that was
Do you
an
remember
awesome
last
game.
year the
That
Saints
was Monday
playing
night's
the
game for
Rams?
those of you who didn't watch.
Do you remember last year the Saints playing the Rams? Do you remember that? That was like the Super Bowl.
Was
I
that-
still
was
watch
that a
that
Monday
to
night
this
game
day.
too?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember.
No,
It
I was
a-
on an airplane coming back from New
Oh,
York
yeah,
watching
yeah.
that game.
Yes.
I
Yes.
still watch that game
Yeah.
now.
It's
That was the
incredible.
in that. Yeah, that's what I was hoping the Super Bowl would be like.
But I want to say something. This is going to sound really cynical, but, I got to tell you, Gia, it's like I feel like there's so much, like if we should hold sports up to that high of a standard,
Yes.
right? We should. But let's be honest.
No, let's not. No. Because again, I think what do people connect to in sports? Ultimately, they connect at their heart level. You're not just watching something, you're connecting at a heart level, meaning
agree.
you're watching people, the alignment between the body, the mind, and the soul, the discipline, the focus, again, the tenacity.
By the way, there was a study that showed that being a fan, sorry to cut you off, but I just read this,
Yeah.
that there's actually a biological something in your brain
Yeah.
that goes back to our primitive brain that when a fan is watching their team, they connect to it as like it's a family, and that's why fans go crazy.
Oh, it's so true.
Oh, yeah.
No, but that it's like,
It's so true.
but they've done studies now. It's like scientifically proven that
Well-
when you go insane as a fan, what
Yeah.
you're really doing is protecting your family.
Yeah.
Well, also, yeah.
That's what I'm doing when I'm watching soccer.
Yes.
See, there's a
for
reason.
Sure, Eira. Shit, you want her rooting for your team.
Believe me.
Because I believe, and I've seen this. I've done my own personal study.
Yeah.
When when I root for a team, my energy affects the team.
Right.
So they immediately become champions and winners. And
yeah,
I've
because
noticed
you
this.
are a champion.
because my energy is going to them. I'll give you an example. Sometimes when I watch baseball and they show another, let's say the opposite team is pitching against the Dodgers, I can't look at that pitcher. I have to look away.
Then Gia,
because I'm giving him energy. And I'm like, no, I can't do that.
You will not take my energy.
Clearly, focus on the Dodgers, and it works, trust me.
Well, it didn't because the Dodgers lost to the Nationals. So
listen,
where the hell were you?
There are some games that I missed.
Where the hell were you?
I can't be there every single day. They play every day.
If you have that much power, come on.
I do. It's
they'll start
most of the time.
If they know, they'd be paying you. So if I were you,
They should be paying me. My daughter and I, for her birthday, I said, Gianna, what do you want to do for your birthday? She said, I want to go to the Dodger Stadium. Had this like fan thing where you got to meet players. They had a whole like fun day basically at Dodger Stadium, and we went there and we did a backstage. You pay extra for that. You get to go behind the scenes, and we cursed the opponent's dugout, and then we blessed the Dodgers dugout. Right. It was so beautiful. And that year, every year for 3 years,
they've got sage, they've got voodoo dolls.
I know, very powerful meditations
There's a
and
little
prayers.
vial of
You think
blood.
I don't use that? You think I don't use that?
You're hysterical.
I use it for the world.
But apparently,
I send light to the world, and I send light to my teams that I love.
And that's okay. That's not illegal.
You want me
the
on
cursing.
your team.
Right.
This is all volunteer. I don't get paid for this. Can you believe that? They didn't hire me. I do this on my own
because
free
they don't
will.
know. Because they're
Now
like I
they
said,
know.
But now they know. Now it's out there.
And they might have you arrested. So be careful when you go to Dodger Stadium next time.
No, this time they're going to sit me next to Tommy Lasorda. I get my own seat next to him.
So
me and Gianna.
I love it.
Yeah.
I almost don't know where to go from that, except to say that we have 2 minutes left, and I want you to have at least 30 seconds to talk about Well Evolved and what you're doing.
Okay, so basically, Well Evolved is a company that I founded. I basically thought that the world needs more people like me. I'm just kidding. But the idea is I create my lifestyle, which is, it's around spirituality, wellness, health, nutrition, sports, all of my favorite passions in life. They really feed my soul, and I feel very connected, body, mind, and soul. So I created basically these ongoing day retreats here in Los Angeles that use all of these modalities. So we have one coming up on December 15th, Sunday, awesome. December 15th in Los Angeles. There's the morning session starts out with, it's called Body Consciousness. It's like a Kundalini movement exercise with Joy Ruggiero. And then we have meditation with Alison Sroor and Yuda Ashkenazi. And then we have EFT tapping with Lindsay Lacrage. And then the afternoon session is a consciousness workshop with David Guillaume. And then there's a sound healing and breath work with Avery Whitmore. And these are all the most amazing human beings, if they're even that, on this planet.
If somebody's interested, where can they find out about this amazing event? Which sounds awesome.
Thank you. It's very exciting. So our Instagram is well.evolved. And the website is bewellevolved.com.
Awesome. Gia, I want to thank you, A, for being a super fan of our show, and B, for coming in.
And you're welcome anytime.
Yes.
We chat about anything.
I don't know about that. No, I'm teasing. We want to thank everybody who joined us today. We do appreciate it. We appreciate your comments. And we are here every other Thursday at ubngo.com on our Facebook page at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. You can find us at thedistilleryinc.com. You can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Castbox,
Stitcher, iHeartRadio,
Google Play. We're everywhere. So
Playboy.com.
There is no excuse not to watch us.
No excuse not to watch us. Please visit our YouTube page and subscribe
to our channel.
And thank you, Shai, very much for, as always, chiming in and for helping us along the way. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.